What's up, YouTube? Max from Team Interstellar here, and we're live from Parma at Rogue's Den from the Case tournament of Duelist Nexus with Mario from Team Interstellar. What'd you do today, Mario?
I top 4 the Case tournament with Purrely.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a blast. We had a lot of fun. We kind of like just worked through it. It's getting late, so matchups are pretty cool. I individually went 5-1 in Swiss, won in top 8, and then we got in top 4.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, let's get right into it.
All right, let's see it.
Okay. So for Purrely, I'm not going to give a lot of explanation here. It's a 3 black cat, 3 light cat. 6 is correct. Please don't play 5. It's not correct. Non-engine, we have 3 Ash, 3 Jewel. For those that really know me and rock with me, my favorite card, 3 Deviru. I won a game in the cash matchup, literally because I had him, he had to commit, just because of nowhere to play through it. When he got to the exceed, it won me the game in the spot. I played 2 Veiler. This one was kind of like a meta call. Shout out to my homies Tommy and Chris for putting me onto this. I was testing Ogre for a while, but this actually popped up and I won a couple of games because of it, including top 8. We went to game 3. We went to relatively simplified because he hit me with Book of Moon Judgment, but then I Veiler his only play and then he just scooped from this.
So would you say Veiler's better than Mourner right now, or how do you feel about that?
So I love Mourner as a card. I think Mourner has some applications. I just like Veiler, one, in this deck specifically, and the same thing going back to with Kura, it has inherent synergy with the deck because in the worst case it's a level 1. Yep. So it can open up some Exceed. Then the next one, we have, moving on to spells, triple failed spell, crazy. Triple my friend, crazy. 6 Purrely spells, 3 sleepy, 3 happy, the 1 delicious, and then the honorary engine piece, the 1 prosperity. Shout out to Tommy again, because we talked about, the prosperity was correct. I didn't think it was necessary in the deck, and only had 1, and he was like, F it, play the 1. And I'm like, bet. It actually popped up and saved my life. So Tommy, you dope. Appreciate you, Tom.
So would you think about going to 2 or 3 if you have them, or how do you feel about 1 today?
Honestly, the deck only bricked once. The deck honestly really worked very well. The Sleepy Fusion Sleepy XYZ corrects a lot of the consistency issues with the deck. So going back to old school Purrely, you didn't necessarily need prosperity, so I think it fixes a lot of problems personally. I tested it, but honestly 1 was fine. And then non-engine, we have, what is this? 3 Book of Moon, double talents. Best non-engine piece of the day. Really good. Didn't regret having these cards. Played a lot. There's a lot of application with this where if I wanted them game 2 and 3 to drill me, I get them to play into it when I had a combo set up and just talents and games over with. So popped up a lot. One thing that was a blessing, I won every single mirror match today. Purrely was very popular. And there were a lot of instances where there was quite a gap. So those cards really worked very well. I'm happy with my choices. And then we played 2 Trap. I like 2 Trap a lot. In testing, I started with 1, but 2 popped up so much, I'm I just have to have it. And there were some random instances where if I would not necessarily break, but open awkward, where I could pitch this, get my recursion, then I had it.
Yeah.
If I let's say open 2 to 3 names.
I also feel the same way. 2's correct.
Extra deck, we had, we'll start with the links. Anima, Azalea, my last choice, Moon. So it was initially these 2, but I wanted to have the skill drain out, so I actually cut the Princess Sprite. Although that card loved me for the last couple weeks, I'm just it couldn't be me losing the skill drain, so I opted with 3. But Azalea's application in the deck is necessary, so you have to have it.
Yeah.
So I just went this route. Then Exceeds, the Nor, broken, them boy broken. Little Happy, Big Happy, Double Nor, Double Beauty, Plump, Nightingale, get to that in a second, Downer, and Double Zeus. This was my choice for the 1 of as opposed to Slacker, just because I always wanted to have a way to relatively guarantee if there were such a thing as Zeus line. And that was the reason why I chose that card. Not to say Slacker's bad, or if I would change it, but honestly, this was my choice.
Did Big Happiness come up at all today?
It came up once, actually.
Okay, nice.
Came up once. I played a locals with it, and I won a game. It was actually hilarious. Long story short, shout out to my homie Greasy. I played him in a box tournament. Game 3, he put me under Gimmick Puppet Lock with full combo. and I actually got out of that with no interaction game 3. Simply put, I had a plot armor, if you will, JK. I had Delicious, said Delicious. He had 6 dudes in play. Delicious is gimmick puppet, so he couldn't kill me and cut off the incandescent. Then when it shifted to my turn, made happy and just attacked him for 9,400 and he lost. So I didn't think that was real, but it was crazy. Sideboard, we're gonna start off first. Shout out to President Pat, the team captain of Interstellar, for these beautiful looking thrusts he let me borrow for the day. This was the ratio we went with. D barrier, and then the 3 crossout detonators. So I'm going to touch on this very briefly. The purpose of this is not unknown that this D barrier can be an FTK to the Purrely matchup. So the theory and thought process behind it was we owe it to ourselves to give ourselves the best shot, which is one of the only shots, to not get FTK'd by that card. And then in the mirror, this card's crazy. But I actually won a game in the mirror earlier where I crossed out. It wasn't for D barrier, he went to book me, but he ashed my quick play, and I crossed out an ash, and from that I just got so far ahead to the point I could have actually took his resources and went draw 10 had he not conceded. It was nuts. So that card is crazy. But yeah, the primary purpose of this card is so we can have an option to stop me period. It's dope. This was theory this morning, and I talked to my homie Chris, and this card is actually crazy. So Crow, I'm probably not playing Bestials for the foreseeable future. This card was insane. Best decision I made today in the sideboard. Because the difference, even though Bestials are cool with the body, and I kind of argued them, Crow's application against all the random stuff is just nuts. Every matchup I played, this card was insane. So definitely love it. And also, again, it's a level 1. Yes. So in the worst case, we can overlay for the Nightingale for Zeus lines. Then broken card, XYZ Encore. So a lot of my deck building and strategy and theory, when I make a choice, it's not that it's the best or there aren't better options. It's I want a card for a specific reason. And normally that specific reason is of high importance. So in this case, Mirror Match or Rise Heart to cut off the draw 6 or to stop me from not being able to play the game. As long as it serves that purpose, it's fine. And that actually popped up, and I won because of it in one of the mirrors. And then last 3, Cyclone. So I've been screaming, and this is the summary of all of it. I've been telling all my homies and my teammates, until anti-spell is no longer a thing, it is incorrect to play cards like Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm. Feather Duster is cool because it's just broken. Any of those normal spell cards so you don't get punished by anti-spell fragrance. So you'll notice a common theme in my deck list. I have none except for the thrust, which I cite in for going first outside of random situations. Everything is chainable because that can't be me. On the flip side of it, when I was playing Cashier Heavy, I punished people. And it was unfortunate when they would look at me and they'd reveal 6 spell cards and they just lost the anti-spell. So I'm I told myself, me personally, it can never be my life. So that's it.
Anything you changed on the list, or how'd you feel?
It actually worked very well. It's still early testing before we start the points grind in a week or 2, so we'll see how it works out.
All right. Any shout-outs?
Shout out to Interstellar Gaming. Shout out to Sensei Yu-Gi-Oh! Shout out to JNC. Shout out to Montgomery Road, Crystal Bank. Y'all real for me. Thanks for the help with the deck. Shout out to Hani. Shout out to my native always, Mansfield, Ohio. We always put on for our city 419 till we die. And then shout out to Jib, shout out to Enzo. Hopefully you do get our Worlds this year, bro. We be here all night. Shout out to Momi Isaiah Houston and Gowan Game Yu-Gi-Oh! Shout out to Gigi Yu-Gi-Oh! That's going to be it. And shout out everyone else. You know who you are. I love y'all. But that's it.
All right, Team Interstellar signing out.
Yes, sir.